One of the easiest mistakes to make as a grower is getting your feed timings wrong. Feed for too long and your plants sit in waterlogged media. Don't feed for long enough and your plants start to dry out. Now when you're just starting out, you can get away with those rough edges. But as you're leveling up, precision becomes a difference between an average crop and an exceptional one. Because here's the thing, plants don't need the same irrigation cycle from start to finish. Seedlings only want a quick splash, whereas vegging plants thrive on regular feeds. By the time you're in flower, consistency is what locks in yields. Trying to manage all of that with a basic segmental timer is clunky. You're locked into 15-minute feeds whether your plants need them or not. That's wasted water, wasted nutrients, and wasted potential. Automation changes the game. With the right timer, you can match irrigation to your plant's life cycle with absolute efficiency. No guesswork, no over or underfeeding. Just a system that runs smoothly while you spend your time fine-tuning the rest of your setup. So, how do you take control of timings without overcomplicating things? That's where timers come in. At the entry level, we've got the G.A.S range of timers. These timers give you way more flexibility than a segmental timer, but still keep things simple. The minute timer is a solid starting point. It lets you set irrigation from 1 minute to 10 minutes. It's ideal for growers who just want straightforward control without the hassle. If you need even tighter precision, the minute-second timer dials things further. It gives you control from 5 seconds to 10 minutes. That's a huge advantage if you're dealing with young plants or you require even further adjustments during your different growth stages. Now, timers give you flexibility, but it is not just about how long a pump runs. To really fine-tune your irrigation, you've got to understand how plants take up water. For that, I'll hand you over to Andrew.
So when you're feeding your plants, using a timed irrigation system makes it so simple and means that you've got absolutely accurate way of judging the amount of moisture that's going into the roots of your plants. You can time it all the way down to seconds, meaning that you can get the perfect amount of water into your pots. And for instance, if you're using an auto drain system, you can get the right amount of runoff. Or if you're using flood and drain, you can make sure that every single pot within your system is filled up and drained within the time frame that you set on your timer. It's absolutely crucial to keep a really healthy plant is to have a really healthy root zone. And the easiest way to damage the root zone is to overfeed or to underfeed. So watering during the day using minutes and second timers for your irrigation system is the best way to keep a healthy plant. Right, so depending on your media, you might want to water regularly for just a small amount of time, or if you've got a type of media that holds a lot of water, such as soil, then you might only water occasionally and have big gaps in between your feeds. If you have something where the water just runs away straight away, for instance pebbles, then you need to water regularly just for a short amount of time to make sure that the root zone stays nice and moist and exactly in the right area for it to grow. So to maintain the perfect root zone for your plant, it's really important that you use timers and you tune them to the minutes and to the seconds to make sure that you get the perfect healthy plant every single time.
So now that we understand how plants take up that water, let's take a look at the timers designed to match that demand. First up, we've got the G.A.S interval timer. This one's all about efficiency. You set the feed duration, then set the gap before the next feed. This means you can build perfectly consistent irrigation cycles that run throughout the day, all without constantly switching things on or off yourself. And unlike the minute or minute-second timers, this timer doesn't need a segmental timer to work. It runs completely standalone, which makes it simple and cost-effective. But if you really want to take precision to the next level, that's where Imperium Timers come in. They give you the sharpest control in the range, all the way from 1 second to 15 minutes. The Imperium Timer is compact and powerful, but just know it requires a segmental timer to define the on and off window. Once it's in that window, you've got complete control to fine-tune your irrigation duration down to the second. Then there's the Imperium Plus. This one gives you the same precision, but with more capacity. You get 2 sockets running the same program. That's ideal if you're driving 2 pumps on the same system. So really, it comes down to this. G.A.S timers are efficient, economical, and a big step up from the old segmental timers. But if you want precision, Imperium Timers give you the tools to push your growth to the next level.
So what we've got here is the full range of minute second timers from Global Air Supply's controller range. There's 5 in a range, but we have 2 different brands. We have the Imperium range and we have the gas controllers. So what I'll do, I'll go through the gas controllers first, and then I'll jump onto the original Imperium. So the gas controllers, very similar to the Imperium, just slightly different design. So what you have here, you have the minute timer. Generally, why would you use a minute timer? Is because most wrestling timers or sectional timers are only 15-minute segments, and if you're running a high pressure pump or something where you want to reduce down for 15 minutes, you're going to need a reducer. So although the timers, we're actually reducing what the segmental timer will do. Plug the segmental timer into the plug that into the mains, plug your apparatus into the UK socket and set it where you want to run. I'll set this to 4 minutes, and what will happen then, when the segment on the wrestling timer hits the 15-minute timer, it will send power to here. This will only run for 4 minutes, turn that pump on for 4 minutes and turn back off again. The next segment, which is pushed out, will do that cycle again. It will click in for 15 minutes. This will reduce it down to minutes. Really great controller if you want to run a minute controller on pumps or anything like that. Then we have a next one up. So this unit is the minute second timer. Very similar to the minute timer. You plug it into the mains, into a segmental timer, and then you just set it. You want it on minutes, seconds, or off. You want it on seconds because you can use a minute controller. Set it to, let's say, 30 seconds. If you've got a really high pressure dripper pump or something like that where you want a quick burst of 30 seconds, you set it on seconds, it's going to run that pull through its main socket. Every time that segmental kicks in, it will reduce it down to 30 seconds or wherever you set it. Great little controller if you're running high pressure dripper systems and you only want to feed for a few seconds, all the way up to a couple of minutes. So what you have next is the interval timer. You don't need a segmental timer for this one, so you put the mains directly into a mains. It had the light socket on there so it can read whether it's day or night. You should never want to really be feeding on an interval timer where the lights are off. You should only be really feeding your plants when the lights are on. Plug the pump into the front, and then you set the segments on the right hand side. So here it says you want to feed every 3 hours, so you turn that to 3, and you want to feed for 5 seconds or 5 minutes or 25 seconds. What you have to do is turn the unit off, turn around to seconds, plug it in, it's now set to seconds. If you unplug it and turn it to minutes, there, when you plug it back in, it's now set for minutes. So it's really easy to switch between the seconds and minutes. Then you get to the Imperium. The Imperium are the original Nutriculture timers. So what I'm going to show you how these work, very similar to the gas timers. On the Imperium standard, plug it into a mains feed through a grassland timer or any timer, segmental timer, and then plug the pump or whatever needs to be is plugged into this socket. You've got the rotary switch on the front, a little bit easier to do. You push it for seconds, push it for minutes, you'll see these dials change. Turn it around to where you want it to go, and then literally when segment timer kicks in, it will feed for either seconds or minutes. It will tell you which it's on and how long it's feeding for. Great little timer, been about for years and years. Bulletproof reliability. Great timer again from Imperium. If you want the Imperium Plus, so this gets away with having to push the mini timer into the mains. So what you do with this one, bit of a chunkier unit. Again, main supply put back directly into the mains. You've got the bottom sockets here. They're your power sockets to your pumps, so you can run 2 pumps simultaneously. They don't work independent, but are simultaneous. And this is what I'm talking about with the grassling timer. On the front, you have a timer. If you push it up, it will feed once and then never feed again. Push it into the bottom section, it will just not work. Plug it into the middle, it will feed or whatever segment you've got out. So push a segment out, one segment there. So we've got a 15-minute segment come out. When it goes all the way around, it won't feed, it gets to 10 o'clock, it'll click in, the power light will come on. If you've got it set for minutes or seconds, again, minutes, seconds, turn it to where it needs to be. When the segment's pushed out, it will start flashing, it means it's feeding. When it stops, it won't feed again till 10 o'clock. That's basically simple it is. So the grassland timer initiates a feed at the time you want it to be, and the left-hand side sockets is either minutes or seconds and the duration. So that's it for the minute timers from Global Air Supplies. You've got the gas variants on the left-hand side, the Imperium brand on the right. You may have a choice what fits your pocket, which fits how you want to use them. A great range. Cheers, guys.
So whether you're just starting out or fine-tuning every detail, there's a timer that matches the way you grow. Gas timers are simple, economical, and a massive upgrade from segmental timers. They're perfect for efficient, consistent feeding. Imperium timers give you the ultimate precision with control to the second. They're perfect for growers who want to optimize every stage of plant development. Automating your feed saves time, reduces your stress, and keeps your plants right where they need to be, leaving you free to focus on maximizing your grow. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like, drop us a comment down below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss another product focus video.